Hello everyone and welcome to another Top 5 Records video. And today I'm going to be talking about the new Mobile Fidelity One Step original mass recording of Michael Jackson's Off the Wall. And later on in this video I am going to compare the sound of this new release to that of a US original. But first let me show you a little bit about the packaging, because I am very happy that MoFi chose for this new packaging. They have been doing it for quite some time, but they're not changing back to the original box. It's a lot thinner, but you don't have to open it. You can just get the records out by the side. Still good quality, thick cardboard, and the release is numbered. This one is, I'm not sure if you can see it, from the 6000. This is copy number 3252. This record comes from an analog master, but they made a DSD 265 copy. So that's digital to an analog console and a lathe. I'll show you a little bit more of the packaging. It comes with, well, a somewhat, a booklet form of the original artwork here with the lyrics. Song by McCartney, Girlfriend, I Can't Help by Stevie Wonder. Well, all the lyrics, song credits, but no photographs, no extras, but perhaps that's what it's all about, right? The discs in two separate covers, and I'll show you one of them because showing both will take too much time, and I am sure you have all got other things to do on YouTube than to watch two types of the same vinyl. All good pressing quality, good shape, and this is, well, what you can usually expect from a one step. Good box, good packaging. Now, how does it sound? And to talk about the sound, I first want to talk to the copy that I started off with, and that's this. This is the first US. And I remember pretty well the day I bought this one. I was here in Amsterdam at it's not a record fair, but there were loads of vinyl sellers in Amsterdam North. And a record seller who I know very well, I asked him, is this a good album? Because I see a lot of people talking about it. I wasn't that much into Michael Jackson back then. I believe it was 5 years ago when I bought this. And I thought, you know what, I'll start with Off the Wall. And he said, yeah, it's brilliant. It's perhaps his best album. Now, I did a top 5 video on Michael Jackson. You can check out if I agree with that or not. But I bought this one. I asked him, is it an original pressing? He said, I don't think so. But he didn't check. So I checked it on the spot and I said, this is the first US. And I bought 10, I paid 10 euros for it. I went home. And ever since that day, I am in awe of this record. The sound of this pressing is spectacular. This first US has one of the best sounding bass guitars you'll ever hear on vinyl, or at least of the about 3,000 pieces of vinyl that I own. It is so full. It doesn't sound boosted, but it's so overly present. It's got so much detail, so full, such a gorgeous punch. It's like a bass guitar made of solid rock chocolate or something like that. It's so, it's in your face, but it's good. It's so, got such a perfect beat to it. I mean, that's the playing, of course, but just the sound of the bass guitar. The voice of Michael Jackson is good detailed. He is not the most present on all the tracks here. Doesn't matter. This mastering, it is of a spectacular dynamics. The details here are just brilliant. When you listen to, for example, in the highs, you have these horns. They've got so much presence, yet in the mix they are not taking over. But when they get in, they have this punch. They add so much to the quality and the sound of this whole There's gorgeous punch also on the guitars, which have this beautiful left-right channel, and I'm not sure which brand they use, but it's this funky, chic Stratocaster or is it Telecaster like. It's just this beautiful. The funk in those guitars survives because there's detail and there's punch in them, and even if they are not just like the horns taking over the sound, it is just spot on. So much punch, so much rhythm. This is a masterpiece of mastering. So honestly, when they announced the new one step, I wasn't too thrilled. As a matter of fact, I didn't even buy this. A friend of mine bought it, and the first spin we gave it, I was actually pleasantly surprised. We were drinking some beers, and I enjoyed it. It's a good press, but comparing it A to B, the following is the result. Michael Jackson's voice is louder here than the original. Is that a good choice? Is it a bad choice? I'll leave that in the middle. But he's noticeably louder. But the first thing, even before you notice the difference in his voice, the bass here is less heavy. It's less present. It's less full. It's brighter. It misses this warm essence. It seems to have less detail. It doesn't have the punch. And in my opinion, the bass is one of the driving forces of this album. It's not bad. It's not bad, but there might also be something with the texture, why I'm experiencing that. The original has this beautiful, direct analog sound, and a lot of the cases with these one steps, the difference in texture doesn't have to be a problem. I have some one steps that beat the original by far. This one, however, it's not the case. The texture is different. It doesn't sound as full, as punchy, and that's just even for only the bass. Overall, the sound of this one step is a lot brighter. A lot brighter. There is a nice punch on the guitars, however. There is punch present. It's not that this is a too bright pressing. You have these horrible audiophile pressings that just go into the brightness and detail, and they don't have bite, punch, middle, warmth, the fresh original analog sound. I mean, this is not a it's not a bad pressing, um, but there's this something going on there also in the highs. The horns, for example, I am missing punch and detail there. Though I do not have the feeling that they cut off the higher frequencies, because there is some weird raise somewhere there which makes the highs sound a little bit brighter, um, which I'm not too much a fan of. But the essence of those punchy horns that, that add, that perfect hole, it's not going well on this one. 45 RPM, so you got bigger grooves, so you should be able to store more information or detail. I did not really notice it. Now, this sounds like a complaint. It's not. This is not a bad pressing. It's not a bad pressing. I'm just comparing it to a very, very good pressing. But that leads me to the following. Why does One Step release this? Because for me, a Mobile Fidelity One Step is a rare occasion in which the company would or should see the possibility to either improve the sound or make a tough available record available in the best quality that is available right now. And neither of those is what they're doing with this one, because this record, even an original, is very easily to find, and you will, well, perhaps at the moment you will pay 20 or 25 bucks for an original, depends on where you're living, but you can have a very clean copy for that, and you have a masterpiece of mastering, and you have the original, and it's cheaper. um, in this instance, the Mobile Fidelity One Step is nothing but a novelty. It's not a rare record. It's not a record which they improve the sound of. It's not a record in which they really added a bonus with the bigger grooves to 45 RPM. So not a bad pressing, but is it worth the money? So, well, I'm curious what you think. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Leave a comment below and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.